In this video, I'll share with you how you can get clients in 2025 on Facebook with just organic marketing, and over the years I've generated over $400,000 with just Facebook alone. Things did change a bit in the last couple of years, but still these things work to this day. Here are some of the results. For example, last 4 clients that I landed all enrolled without any objections. Now, this is obviously not always the case, but I'm just saying what is possible. So I'll break down to you the 9-step system that I use to land clients in 2025 and how you can replicate it. Now, what's interesting is that this works without running any ads. You don't even need to have huge following. I made my first $100,000 with under 2,500 followers, so it's pretty much possible. Now, also really important, this will be our first video of the series. Well, I'll dive deeper into each one of these steps so you can implement them in your own business. But this video will serve as a foundation of all the steps and what you need to do and know. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Step number 1, you need to have the right offer, avatar, and niche. And a lot of the times when I start working with clients, this is the first thing they mess up. Basically, some of them have the right strategy, the decent approach, maybe even a good offer. But if you're not really clear on your niche, if you're not really clear on your avatar, and if you don't know where your people are, this will, so without further ado, let's start with step number 1, which is the right offer, niche, and avatar. When I start working with clients, this is usually the first thing that I look at, because 99% of the time, people are not clear on one and probably more of these things. So for example, with the offer, they either haven't even picked the offer, or they have multiple offers, or they're not really sure the main outcome that their offer solves and the main problem that it helps people solve. And this is a huge issue, because if you cannot communicate that, you cannot sell it. Now, another thing that's very common when I start working with people is that they're not 100% sure, even when they think they are, on their customer avatar. Sometimes they think it's like moms or dads or women over 40 or something like that. And in our space, online, demographics matter much less than if, let's say, you sell physical products and like you sell, I don't know, t-shirts for women that are 30, yeah, then that makes more sense. But when you're selling, I don't know, how to make money online, how to lose weight, these things matter less. So what you actually need to be clearer on is what vehicle or the way of achieving the desired result is your avatar using, where they are, which is what we're going to cover in the step number 2, what beliefs they have about this vehicle. So I care much more about these things. And once you have clarity on that and on your niche, which is kind of like tied to your avatar, this is when you start to see, oh, this is my offer, this is the type of people, who is it for, this is my niche, right? And once you have clarity on that, everything else streamlines easier. This is why this is step number 1, because a lot of times I see people trying to fix their content or their offer or their messaging and whatnot, but the issue is much deeper. It's much more fun than but the issue is actually in the foundation, right? So we need to fix the foundation. You need to be clear again on the offer, on the avatar, and on the niche, as to be able to later have the right content, sales message, sales process, and everything else. Now, again, for each one of these, I will dive deeper into separate videos. So if you're not yet subscribed, make sure you subscribe so you get notified and watch the entire series. And if you're watching this in the future, maybe these are released, so make sure you finish this video and then go into the next one. I will also have a dedicated playlist that you can follow for every step. Now, step number 2 is traffic, basically finding your people. This is another thing, and usually it stems from not really knowing your niche and your avatar, because when you don't know that, you don't know where your traffic is. Here's the thing, we don't generate traffic, right, in a real way. You don't create it, basically. Traffic already exists, and there are people and communities who already have your people. So our job, especially on Facebook, is to get in front of these people and to redirect part of this traffic towards us. This is how we grow our following with relevant people from our niche who want to learn more about the problems that we solve. So this is why, again, step number 1, we are getting clear on the niche and the avatar. Step number 2, we want to find the communities and people that already contain our avatar, and then start, again, directing them towards us. This is closely tied to the step number 3, which is redirecting the traffic. So basically, once you find the right communities or the right gurus, influencers who already have your traffic, what we need to do next is redirect the traffic. And on Facebook, the way we do that is a couple of ways. One, which is probably the most powerful, and one of the reasons why Facebook works so well, is that you can add friends, right? Like you cannot do this on other social media platforms. Like if you're, for example, on TikTok or on YouTube, you can just post content and hope that they will follow and or subscribe. But on Facebook, it's different, and the big advantage, especially for beginners, on Facebook is that you can proactively add friends, and once they accept, they're part of your audience, and you can market to them, you can reach out to them, and this is what makes, again, Facebook really, really powerful. And when you add higher ticket products on that, and one friend or follower can be worth thousands or even 5 figures, this really changes the game. Now, another way is simply when you're in these communities, you can be helpful, you can answer people's questions and comments and deliver value and insights. And over time, people will start recognizing you, going to your profile and following you, right? So this is another way that you can get this traffic to follow you and to grow your audience. Now, as far as the first approach, what's recommended is to add about 20-30 people a day, because if 50% accept, that means, let's say you get 50 new friends / leads every single day. In a week, that's 100 people. In a month, that's 400 people. And you can see how this can snowball really fast. And don't worry, over time, you can either automate or delegate this process. But I do recommend starting yourself at first. Now, step number 4, not the most important thing, and yet it's one of those things that you still want to have. And this is like branded profile, sticky profile, profile funnel. People call it different ways, but what it basically is remaking your profile in such a way that it captures new audiences and it funnels the current audience where you want them to. So these are things like your profile picture. You want it to be you and clear picture. And you're like, of course, some people have a truck or an airplane or a random cartoon character or group of 10 people. Like, you don't want that. You want your picture. Then on Facebook, we have cover photo, which I'll dive deeper into the dedicated video for step number 4, but it should tell more about you and or your business. Then we have bio, again, more about you, about your business, and maybe funneling them further. For example, I love to funnel people to my Facebook group. Then you have your content, which is like another thing. One of the first things actually people will check once they land on your profile. They will take a look at your content, what you're talking about, and how often you're talking about it. So if you never posted or you posted once 1 year ago, the chances of people following you or accepting your friend request are much slimmer, right? So we do want to pay attention, even though it's not the most important thing, it is important to have branded profile. But again, we'll dive into the specific on what type of profile, what type of content, what type of bio, what type of cover photo in a separate video. Now, step number 5, content. It's one of the most important things. And if you nail this part down, everything else becomes easier. Now, the way I do content is basically I split it first into 2 big buckets. One bucket is to grow and nurture my audience, and the other bucket is to kind of like monetize it, right? So based on these 2 goals, I split content into 4 types. The first type is rapport building, where I share more about myself, my beliefs, my journey, my life, etc. So people get to know me. And will people buy just because they know you? No, but all things being equal, if they're considering your product and someone else's product and they know and trust you, they're more likely to buy. Then type number 2, that's also more for like growing and nurturing audience, is what I like to call goodwill type content, which is basically where you're delivering insights and you're being helpful within your niche to your avatar. And again, this increases the chance that they follow you. This increases the chance that they engage and that they eventually buy from you. Then the other monetization bucket has another 2 types. One, what I like to call status and authority. Basically, people listen to authorities. This is how we are hardwired. So if you become authority in your niche and for your audience, they will listen to your recommendation, listen to what you have to say, and do what you tell them. Pretty much, obviously, not always, with exceptions, etc. But it will make it easier to sell your products and services later. And finally, one of the most important things is the influence type content, which is there to shift beliefs, problem educates, converts followers into leads, and leads into like buyers. This is what is it for. And again, in a separate video, I'll dive deeper into this type of content. Now, step number 6 is Messenger. And again, another one of those things that makes Facebook more powerful than a lot of social media alternatives, because Messenger is a powerhouse. I made so much money with just Messenger. Obviously, it's not just Messenger, it's like with the help of content and branding and all this stuff. But overall, Messenger is what allowed me to follow up with people and close them, to sell them if they weren't sold enough, to just close them, because a lot of times people would consume my content or my lead magnets and whatnot, but there's still like issues or questions or uncertainties that they have. And Messenger is really easy way to like tap into those, see what they think, see what questions they have, eliminate their concerns and close them. Right? So I use Messenger for all of that. Or you can use it to funnel people further. So maybe someone requests my lead magnet, I reach out to them, we talk on Messenger, I send them the lead magnet, and later I can also follow up. So Messenger is that powerhouse that's doing a lot of things. You can also, if you're newer, you can use it to build rapport, to reach out to people, to close people, to do all sorts of things. So Messenger is one of those things that will make you a lot of money if you're doing Facebook organics, so do not sleep on it. Now, number 7, we have engagement. Another one of those like branded profile type things. It's not the most important, and yet it's good to do. So what I mean by engagement is not just getting engagement. What I mean by engagement is engaging with your leads, mostly your leads, like 80% of people. So why do we do that? The way Facebook algorithm works is if you comment on my post, there is higher likelihood that your post will be shown to me as well, and vice versa. So Facebook tracks this, and if it means that, okay, we are interested in each other's content. So this is one reason. Another reason is, let's say I put effort, created like this big post, thought about something, and you took time out of your day to read it, to consume it, to like it, and to engage with it. And with that, you leave a meaningful comment. So this will also build reciprocity. It also builds no trust. What's really interesting is that over the years, I had people that I never spoken with, but we would comment on each other's content and we feel like we knew each other. So do not neglect the power of content. And now imagine when you do this with your leads. So people that are a good fit for your products and services and you engage with their content, they are more likely to see your content and thus be pre-sold. They are more likely to respond to your messages on Messenger. You will build reciprocity, so they're more likely to also engage with your content and so on and so forth. So engagement is one of those things that, again, if you just engage with other people, you're not going to make money, but it will help everything else that you do so as to make more money. Step number 8, we have community building. So on Facebook, another one of those things, actually probably the only platform that has natively integrated communities. And this is so powerful for many reasons. First, you can join your niche communities where your ideal avatar is. But what I'm talking about in step 8 is that you can build your own community of your own audience, where these are people who truly know, like, and trust you and follow you and want to listen to you, and you can further nurture them, deliver more value, and sell more to them. So I launched my community way back in the day, and it helped me make hundreds of thousands of dollars online. Do not sleep on communities. I know people that did make money on Facebook without communities, but it's not as reliable, as frequent, and it's overall much easier if you have community. Not to mention that you can tie your community with an email. So for example, when people join my community, one of the questions I ask for is their email address. I take their email, so I did not just get the community member, I also got an email address, so I can have more ways to communicate with my ideal avatar. Plus, on top of that, I can do prior trainings inside my Facebook group, I can do interviews, I can do all sorts of things that I don't usually do else. And the final, step number 9, are lead magnets and micro commitment offers. Now, honestly, this could be like 2 additional separate steps, but I wanted to keep it under 10 steps. But basically, these are lead magnets, obviously, like free trainings or resources and whatnot. And micro commitment offers are usually lowish ticket, up to $100, that solve specific problem. And why is this powerful? Why is this part of the strategy? Well, it's because it allows you to segment. Let's say you have 2,000 followers, and not everyone will see or be interested in, let's say, your lead magnet or your $20 whatever, something that solves problem within your niche. But people that are much more likely to later invest into your higher ticket products, especially if they purchased your whatever 20, 50, $100 products. Like just recently, one of my clients went through this process. They've been through my lead magnet. After a while, they purchased my micro commitment offer, which was $95. And just 2 weeks later, they enrolled into one of my mentorship programs at $2,000, paid in full without any objections. So this is the power of having like that system that does the nurturing, the pre-selling, the segmenting, all of these things, and having good enough lead magnets, good enough micro commitment offers is what allows you to, again, capture the right followers, turn them into engaged leads, or even better customers, and then later a percentage of them will naturally ascend into your high ticket offers, because there are always people who need more, who are in bigger pain, who need more help or want more help, and this is one of the best ways to find them. Again, this is the first video of the series. By the time you're watching this, maybe the series are out, so just go and check the next video out. If not, again, don't forget to subscribe so you get notified every time I release new video, and over the next 9 weeks, or maybe sometimes I release more videos at once, but I will be releasing 1 to 2 videos every single week for now on this topic, probably without any breaks. So I'll see you in the next one.